but all I see is... light.
Dragon Child, you desire the power to fight to the end alongside everyone.
Marth?
Dragon Child, you who fought bravely even after death, would you rise once more?
I want to fight. It can't end here. No matter how hard it may be, I have to continue until the world is safe. I must fight. Like the emblems have!
I have heard your wish, and thus, our power is yours.
Alear has finally awakened to their true calling as the 13th Emblem. But as they're both an emblem and a controllable ally, they work uniquely. To use Alear's Engage, move them next to another ally and select Engage Plus. This puts both themselves and that ally into Alear's Engage state, at the cost of just Alear's Engage meter. Alear's bond level is not raised by fighting or bond fragments, but is instead dependent on their support rank with their Engage partner. None is bond level 1, C is bond 5, B is 10, A is 20, and S will cover later. Alear has no skill inheritance, but anyone at bond 10 or a B support with them gains sword and arts proficiency. Finally, there's no way to simply sync with Alear. You are either engaged with them or not. And being engaged will give you every bonus you see here. So let's finally go over those. Alear's stat bonuses are to HP, speed, and defense, all making themselves and their engaged partner more durable. While the +4 speed can help with doubling thresholds. At bond level 1, you gain Holy Aura. Finally an answer to corrupted worms, it only took us 22 chapters. Though the main use of this skill is against the final boss. At bond 5, you gain Bond Forger, which gives hit and avoid +20 to themselves, and all allies within 2 spaces who have an emblem ring, which this late in the game should be most of your army. This upgrades to Bond Forger Plus at Bond 20, which gives +30 hit and avoid, and also at Bond 20 is Holy Shield, which neutralizes all effectiveness bonuses against the units. For Alear, this means they don't have to fear dragon slaying weapons. For others, well, flyers not needing to fear bows is amazing. Alear's Engage skill, though technically everything they have is an Engage skill, is attuned. Whenever the user initiates combat and defeats an enemy, the other member of the Alear Engage pair gets +4 to all their basic stats, and they'll gain additional stats based on the attack as a unit type. The idea behind this is that Alear and their partner gradually snowball each other as they make their way across the battlefield. To get the most use out of this, you'll need both Alear and the partner to be decent combat units, and that's not always the case. Alear's Engage attack, Dragon Blast, is fairly simple. You can only initiate it with a sword, either one of your own or one of Alear's Engage weapons, against an adjacent enemy, and you'll deliver one attack with the sword, and then a magic beam attack with 20 might. Dragons deal plus 20% damage, backup units add 20% of their strength stat to the sword attack, while mysticals add 20% of their magic to the beam attacks. Key adepts inflict automatic break, and if used while the other member of the Alear engage pair is adjacent to you, it becomes Bond Blast, and that ally delivers an additional sword attack with Alear's first engage weapon. Overall, this attack suffers from the same problem Leaf's quadruple hit does. You kind of need to have good strength and magic to do the maximum damage with it, which not a lot of characters have. But with the Fell Dragon effectiveness granted by your level 1 Bond skill, this can do a lot of damage to the final boss. Alear's first engage weapon is Lyration, thought to be derived from lilac and relation. Lilac being both a mixture of red and blue, and representing friendship and remembrance in the Japanese language of flowers. It has stats on par with your average Bond 15 weapon, and it also fills adjacent allies' engage meters when you defeat an enemy on the player phase. Used well, you can pull some crazy combos with this, such as replenishing a Byleth user. At Bond 10, you get an art weapon, Dragon's Fist. It has the brave effect that most arts do, but it's an entirely magic weapon. At Bond 20, you get Oligoludia, which seems to be derived from the Greek for the noble few. It's effective against Corrupted, but its might is very low, so it's no Erica. Alear can grant a sizable boost to both themselves and one other ally when using their engage mode. But remember, they can still spend their engage meter on their own emblem, so you'll need to decide which engage form is the best for the situation. But now that we have this form, Sombron should be afraid, because it was made to destroy him.
The 12 emblems must have granted their power.
Beautiful.
How did this...
Before your slumber, I made you a promise. I said I'd give you a birthday present that suited you perfectly. I always knew this day would come. A very happy birthday to you.
So, this ring...
That has become your emblem ring.
Marth!
Lumera's power was held in that ring. You have restored the power of the Divine Dragon. She must have known this day would come. The day of your rebirth.
I was dead. And now look at me, I feel... new. What do you mean, emblem ring?
Your life was saved by the combined power of 12 rings, making you the 13th emblem, the Fire Emblem.
I'm the 13th emblem? The Fire Emblem?
That's right. And that is your emblem ring, much like the rings that house our spirits.
We emblems have only ever been spirits, but you had a physical form. Perhaps this is now why you seem unique among us.
And it's like I was never corrupted.
Your power as an emblem dwells in the ring, just as dragons imbue their power into stones. Though you die, you are now reborn as an emblem with a new body.
But... how? Sombron used your power. I thought you could only grant it once every 1,000 years.
The 12 rings have another power, one we kept secret.
And what's that?
Now that you're an emblem, we can finally reveal the truth. We have always been able to perform the miracle at any time.
To use it, we all had to be together and agree on who deserved the miracle.
So that means
Yes, we all agreed we wished to fight alongside you.
We could do this once and never again. Not in all the thousands of years ahead.
What's more, this will be the last gift that we will ever give this world.
This took all of our future power. It was worth it to fight alongside you now.
This is the first time we emblems have shared the same wish. For this for you.
Everyone. You...
This was the only way we could save you. No one returns from death.
Just to interrupt here, it's a little weird that Marth is saying this, because Marth is in one of the few games that had a staff that revives people from death, literally.
Now, being an emblem is perhaps not what you desired. I hope we have done the right thing.
I've died twice. I didn't expect to be back again. So, thank you. My friends and I will do our best to protect this world. I'll make the most of what you've done. Oh, and Marth, I'm so glad to see you again. I'm sorry we were separated in Elusia. It's been so long since then.
Oh, it was barely a blink compared to your years of slumber. It's good to see you, my fellow emblem.
Yes, my fellow emblem.
Glad to have you back, Divine One.
Don't even think about dying again. You hear me?
Well, yeah, you've already died like 3 times. That's enough for one lifetime.
I don't think I could survive losing you a 3rd time.
How I prayed at the end to be with you again. We all were, and now, here we are.
And you're an emblem. I look forward to seeing what you can do.
I'm sorry I worried you all. I'm not going anywhere ever again. I am with you now, all the way to the end.
Now we'll always be together.
Veil, without you, I wouldn't be here. Thank you.
No, you saved my life too, remember? I should be thanking you.
What is this? An earthquake?
No. This is something far different. A greater force is in motion. Something is happening in Gradlon.
Let's look.
Yeah, we kind of have that big evil dragon problem to deal with.
What in the world? What's all that in the middle of the sea?
Gradlon. It's back.
A portal is opening in the sky. Soon Sombron will set out to invade other worlds.
We have to stop him.
I wish we could, but there's a barrier in the way.
Oh yes, that. Yeah. This is basically the game's way of making it so there's 3 more chapters before endgame. It's kind of dumb.
Yes, and it's covering the entire continent. The power that must have taken. Papa doesn't want us to interfere with his plans.
How do we break through?
We will need to destroy the Felldragon shards that are sustaining the barrier. But I don't know where to find them.
I can help.
You can?
I guess you'd call it a vortex of Felldragon power, building up in Gradlon. I think there are 2 of them. No, 3. Follow me.
We'll destroy the Felldragon shards and shatter the barrier. To Gradlon!
But I won't say no to more engaged chapters. They've always been great. And so, Alear has now become an emblem in themselves. I already talked a little bit about this, but you can see Emblem Alear here and their abilities. That scene, I can kind of sum it up as, it's cheesy, but I love it. And I also love just how kind of symbolic it is, in that it's like all of the previous protagonists welcoming Alear as one of them. And in a sense, this entire thing has just been like an Alear emblem origin story all along. Okay, this is, people are gonna get on my case for comparing this story to something so highly regarded, but it kind of reminds me a little bit of, the moment in the first Into the Spider-Verse where you realize the whole movie has been a Miles Morales origin story all along. Like, that's kind of how it felt for me here. It's like, we've had all these other previous experienced, like, you know, heroes from all of their worlds, and then you have this guy who kind of feels like he doesn't really fit in, and he has such a big legacy to live up to. Or girl, if you're playing a female Alear. And then you have this moment where it's just like, yeah, you belong amongst us. You're one of us now. And he gets to be an emblem too.
Oh.
Because, like, I just feel so proud for Alear right now. It's just really silly, but I just have this kind of goofy smile on my face at this point. It's just, Alear is just so endearing to me, and I am invested in his happiness by this point, like, basically. I will admit, though, it would have been kind of interesting if Alear actually did die, and Veil became the main character for the rest of the game. Like, that would have been cool, too.
So...
No, you're really strong. I've used you in an alternate universe in Maddening. In fact, maybe if we don't stop Sombron, he'll be invading that universe and attacking my Maddening file. Yeah. The whole thing with Sombron attacking other worlds...
Zappy!
It actually does kind of explain a lot. Because he doesn't care how much he destroys the world that he's currently in, as long as he gets the power of the 12 emblems within it. And so, like, because he's going to be just leaving. Like, to him, this world is expendable. And it is kind of interesting because there's a lot of, like, stories that treat, like, alternate universes as expendable. And, like, this is the kind of thing that happens when you're following the quote-unquote expendable universe. And the people in that universe are telling someone, no, we don't want to be treated as expendable. You can't just completely destroy our reality because you want to move on to a different one. It doesn't work that way. We're all people who have our own lives, and we are gonna go and mess him up for, you know, for messing with us in our world.
Please.
But of course, we have some more chapters to go through, and we also have to go over Morvier and Veil.
Impressive. Ah.
And a little bit in the Somniel to do. I appreciate all these medals, though. I wonder if I will be able to make that +4, Silver Dagger for Yunaka. I feel like how I handled the last chapter was, like, a little bit clumsy. It wasn't really the best, and I forgot about the objective changing. Because there's actually a paralogue in this game that unlocks now, where the objective, like, does change mid-map, but when it does that, it does something interesting that prevents it from being unfair. I'll go over that once we reach it. And you're back, Marth. Yep, well, not exactly Altea, but it's your home away from home now. In fact, you know what? I am going to straight up just see if I can make that, oh, by the way, we have access to Marth's engraving once more. So just to recap it, it's a general all-round engraving, boosts might, hit, avoid, dodge, and critical, all by a little bit. Oh, I still don't have enough iron. I can literally afford to trade 1 silver. And that will just be enough. I don't know if this will solve all of Yunaka's failure to one-round problems, but it is an extra 2 might, and she's often only been 1 or 2 damage off. But while we're here, obviously first port of call is to check on Morvier and Marnie. Is to check on Morvier and Veil.
It is true.
Oh yeah, you certainly are.
This is my redemption!
Your army's deployment slots for the rest of the main story chapters increase by 1 when Morvier joins. This is probably so players who want to use him for story reasons aren't forced to bench someone. But it also means Morvier is essentially a free deployment from now on, as it's very unlikely you'll have someone who can fill that slot who's better than him. Morvier's personal base stats and growths are all very high, allowing him to do well in a variety of reclasses. In his default Royal Knight, he's very tanky, provides staff utility up to B rank, and can deal decent chip damage to enemies, though don't expect him to kill much. 2500 SP is also more than enough to get him kitted out with a lot of great skills. His personal skill works like Alfred's except raising defense by 2, which makes him even tankier. Morvier, interestingly, can be reclassed on Chapter 22's menu if you have a spare second seal by then, and he can fulfill the same role he normally does in Griffin Knight with the addition of flyer utility. His high base stats in both strength and magic mean he can do decent damage with arts as a martial master if you want to go that route. He can reclass to warrior or hero and pick up Lucina's dual assist plus if you want chain attack utility. or he could go Wyvern Knight or Mage Knight for an offense role. And with all-round good cap modifiers aside from speed and luck, you really can't go wrong with Morvier in any role. Oh, Veil's always on the lookout ridge, isn't she? Oh, she's right on the edge of the lookout ridge too. I don't think I can talk to her without triggering that other DLC scene.
Divine One, we discovered this...
Veil's casual Somniel outfit looks really pretty.
I'm more than just a fell dragon!
Just like Morvier, your deployment slots expand by 1 once Veil joins, to a total of 14 for the rest of the main story chapters. So Veil is essentially another free deployment. Veil also has excellent personal base stats, though her growths are more lopsided than Morvier's, with deficits in HP and defense and somewhat mediocre speed, and her build is definitely a problem. But all of these can be worked around with the many tools Engage gives you by this point, especially with her massive starting pool of SP. Veil has a lot of exclusive assets. First is the Fellchild class, which gives her a class skill she already has the level for, that regenerates her Engage meter by 1 every turn when it's not maxed. She also has her exclusive Dark Tome and exclusive Magical Dagger that still poisons, though her use of these is still restricted by class. Perhaps Veil's biggest asset is being another Dragon-type unit alongside Alear, meaning you have 2 people who can potentially run things like Corrin's all Dragon Veins or Byleth's all Stat Boosts. This pushes Veil into more of a utility role, as Fellchild's base stats are pretty low. If you want her to be a combat unit, she can do well if reclassed to Mage Knight, Griffin Knight, or even Wolf Knight for using her magical dagger. Just be warned that she won't be able to use her tome that way, just as she won't be able to use her dagger as a Mage Knight. Like Morvier, she's also one of the few with the base stats to do decent damage with arts. Her personal skill is a reversed version of Alear's, and while I prefer Divinely Inspiring, every little bit of damage helps, and the -3 damage taken can save you sometimes. Whether used for utility or combat, Veil is a major asset to the Divine Dragons team from this point on.
That's me for ya.
But talking to her was not canon because discourse got in the way. Okay, so we can afford to switch off of Dinner in Elusia. Souls 1 sounds really good, let's do that. I kind of wish there was a Faraway Holy Land remix though, because that would fit more for Alear right now. Something that I've been reminded to do, always throw your meal in the well, like before you get another one. Because you're gonna lose it anyway. Let's see, how are we on achievements right now? I don't think there's an achievement for Alear turning into an emblem, but hey, no, that's gonna boost up our bond fragments quite a lot. Oh, well, we have to eat with Morvier and Veil. And Lapis is an expert at that, and that's a very good boost.
Tastes good.
It's yummy. I'd be happy to eat it again.
Okay, so Veil was fine with it.
Here.
Just Brudian, so in my case it would really just be Lapis and Alcris getting a boost from that.
I am Leaf. I intend to win this contest.
Oh, you are gonna win this contest. Okay, he's getting more strength, which is good. How close are you? 28. Because you get a new skill.
I'm Sidal, famed dancer of Solm. I've been observing.
Wow, you are so not winning this at all. At least Louis got some vindication there. But yeah, like, rarely is it that I see Sidal actually initiate, like, the arena. But you know what, let's do it again, because this will definitely level him up.
We were fated to meet.
I won't let this chance go to waste.
Yeah, he's also dead here. It'd be kind of funny if somebody actually did make Sidal into a decent combat unit. I mean, it's totally possible. But that gets you Special Dance, which now, every time he dances for someone, they'll get a stat buff. And now we can actually train people with Marth again. The question is, who even wants to use Marth right now? Cause, yeah, I was originally thinking maybe Tamara, because there's a chance of Sandstorm on that extra Divine Speed attack, and that could actually be helpful. This is gonna mean that she won't be able to, she'll have to take Leaf off, though.
This calls for a victory
This
song.
is literally the earliest you can get Tamara to this rank with Marth.
Pretty much anything that's fun to do, I like doing. How about you? What do you do for fun?
I have given it no thought. But learning to have fun sounds fun. Perhaps you will teach me.
Those are the words of somebody who really needs to get out more. It's like, I was about to say that, like, wait, he went hunting in the OVA, but he hated it, so I think that probably doesn't count. Also, that wasn't Marth, that was Mars Lowell, a totally different character, who lives in an alternate version of Arcanea with a very weird version of Gordon.
5 points! Hey Marth, I wrote a song for you. You know, a little tune to inspire you. Wanna hear it?
You are too kind. I would love to hear it, though I wonder if you could sing it quietly.
I'm sorry, that does not compute in her programming. But yeah, clearly Marth, but he probably heard her while he was somehow heard her while he was a Fell Emblem. Oh, of course, I can't go any higher because I haven't even beaten Marth's Paralog yet. Yes, indeed, Marth does have a Paralog, which is unlocked now. Oh, you can't use the S-rank sword as a Wyvern. Does anybody here have an S-rank in swords at all? I don't actually think so. I mean, Yunaka can use the Smash Knife. We got Brionac, but I have the same problem. I don't think anybody here has an S-rank in Lances. In fact, I don't even think... Yeah, no, you don't even have an S-rank in Axes either. Oh! Okay. So apparently Tamara is my only bet at using Brionac. And it's gonna lower her speed, even though she has actually gained some, and it's only like 1 more power than Fenzalier, because okay, yeah. I was about to say Anna should take the Spirit Dust, but like, she doesn't really need it. But you know what, why not? And somebody needs to take that Speed Wing too. You know what? Amber has had some issues with getting doubled, so I'll actually take that with you. 715 SP. Now, can I get you to Vantage? 500. Okay. Because Vantage plus is only... Oh, but it requires you to be ridiculously high level with Leaf. Oh yeah, because you've already inherited the regular version of Vantage. I only need 1,500 SP. I can at least get you on the way.
You seem to be in high spirits today, Ember. Did you receive some good news?
Let me guess, it has something to do with alpacas, doesn't it?
I found a recipe for a legendary secret potion that gives you endless energy. Want to see, Leaf?
No, it's actually a reference to Thracia, because yeah, Leaf response, though you don't see it, would be, oh no, we already have those in my world. Yeah, the S drink. It was kind of an interesting system how they kind of force you to rotate out characters in that game, but since everyone's stats only cap at 20, it's actually quite easy to have a lot of combat-ready people. So it's not like that much of an issue. Oh, I can actually get you all the way up to the light brand. So, if I give you Vantage Plus now, you're a little on your way. Oh, I do really like Momentum, and Strength Plus 2 is actually kind of helping. I actually kind of want to keep those for now.
Do come again.
Okay, I already have 2 second seals in my inventory, because Anna needs 1, and... so this is interesting. I could loop her back into Warrior, or I could go Bow Knight. It'll give her even better magic and more speed, and only a little less HP. The main issue that worries me is her build will go down pretty significantly. Yeah, she's currently losing 2 speed from the Radiant Bow, even with build plus 3 as a warrior. So by going down to 5, that's an additional 3 speed loss. You gain 1, so it's at basically 2 speed loss. You'd be down to 25. So a net loss over Warrior, actually. Just for +1 magic and more movement. In that case, actually, maybe I'll just go back to Warrior and be boring. Yeah, there's Radiant Bow Warrior Anna, as she should be. Yes, I'll upload that old outfit that looks exactly the same. But the other thing that I wanted to do with Second Seals is... I do actually really like having healing staves on Alear, though. So, since Alear is an emblem now, I was wondering if now was the time to swap back, because Emblem Alear kind of wants you to use Alear a little more aggressively. I have Morvier, though, for staff utility now, so maybe I can afford to do this. Again, it does drop me down to 90% bondage shield, and that could actually really screw me over. But I do want to do this at least a little, I think. So, back to the classic outfit. No more looking... I mean, it doesn't look... like, martial arts doesn't look that bad in cutscenes. But yeah, Alear's become very, very tanky now. Just kind of what sets them apart from other, like, sword lords. And they still can't use... Really? Really? Like, basically the main character can't use the ultimate sword. And this does mean nobody will be able to use Fortify anymore. An important thing to note about S-rank weapons is they can indeed be forged. So remember that, some of them become quite strong when fully forged. For example, this Smash Knife. Oh, also, yeah, Veil's Magic Dagger can get forged too. It's not even all that expensive to forge, but yeah, you can make this Smash Knife pretty strong. That's an increase of 2 might for only 5 steel and 1,000 gold, I'll do that. 50 silver, yeah, good luck getting that much. You can't even use Flashing Fist art. With that, okay, we do have access to a decent number of supports now. It's very fitting that we're getting this B now.
Ivy, do you think maybe it's time we talked?
Yes, it's been how many chapters since we got our C support?
Whatever you're feeling toward me, I'm prepared to listen.
Oh, you say that now?
As allies, I'd like there not to be walls between us.
Very well. I am rather more comfortable around you now, so I suppose it's time.
I'm glad to hear that. Can we start with why you seem to have such anger toward me?
I love you.
Huh?
I love you, Divine One. My feelings began long before I met you. Understand, I do not mean romantically. I adore you as a worshipper adores a deity.
Yeah, she's hinted at this a few times, but this support was the one time where it's made explicit.
But you looked so upset when you were staring at me before.
My deity was standing before me, in the flesh. I was nervous.
Oh.
Do you understand now?
Yes, thank you for sharing that. I, like you as well, Ivy.
Yes. May I be excused?
Oh, yes. Yes, of course. And I'm sorry.
We'll speak again later, Divine One.
So even though she says that, Ivy is one of the few S supports in this game. Oh yeah, now you're seeing how this works. Is one of the few S supports in this game that is explicitly romantic, even in the localization. So yes, it can become romantic. You know what, I'm gonna do Rosado's first. I think I'll save Morvier and Veil supports for last.
Hello, Rosado. Divine One, have you seen my latest drawing?
I have. An old well deep in a forest. A single sunbeam illuminating a lone flower in bloom. You conveyed a perfect balance of warmth and isolation, light and dark. Just breathtaking.
Alear is now aspiring to be an art critic, I see.
Exactly. You saw all that right away, didn't you? You would not believe how much time I spent hiking in the woods to find that view. But to hear your experience, to know you understand, makes it all worth it.
Finding beautiful things, then sharing them with friends who would never see them otherwise? You found a lovely hobby, Rosado. I can't wait for your next piece.
Aw, sweet of you to say. But if you're expecting more, I need to raise the stakes. Hey, maybe you could help me. There's a spot I want to get to, but it's a tough hike. It would definitely help to have a buddy.
I'd love to come along.
Great! Thanks so much!
And so, Alear and Rosado find Xenoblade landmarks together, is what I got out of that conversation. And yeah, you'll be seeing that now with every single time somebody gets a support with Alear. Yeah, there was actually a thing that I wanted to talk about regarding Rosado. I don't know if now's the time, though, because it is a long kind of topic of conversation. Oh, I've got Amber and Morvier gained a support together, but again, I promise to do those later. Somniel and Veil, too.
Ivy, do you remember much about my mother?
Of course. She was quite memorable.
Maybe you could tell me a little about her? What do you remember most?
My clearest memory is her smile. My mother hated all of Father's other women. Your mother especially. So she was badly mistreated by my mother and by all who sought her favor. Yet even through all of that, she never seemed to stop smiling.
Yeah.
By her charm and wits, she eventually won even my mother over. She turned her biggest enemy into a friend through sheer determination.
Sounds like a Fire Emblem protagonist, honestly.
It left a powerful impression on me. It made me realize how strong a parent can be for a child.
Just like Lumera was for Alear.
How strong?
Yes. It seems to me your mother fought those battles to carve out a niche for you.
For me?
Yes. She was the sort of person who shone a light on everyone who knew her. And you were the reason she shined so bright.
This was something I needed to hear. Thank you, Ivy.
Bit more background on that. So yeah, it's implied a very similar situation to Garen and Fates, that Hyacinth had a lot of concubines and they had a lot of different children. So it looks like Morvier and Veil are the only ones left who have supports, but each of them have quite a lot of supports. So let's start out with Alear.
Morvier, I'm curious. What are some of your favorite things?
And please don't say raindrops and roses.
Pardon? Why would you wish to know?
I've decided to give you a gift as a token of my gratitude.
This would be kind of funny if you got their C support through giving gifts in the Somniel.
A gift from the Divine Dragon? For what reason? Perhaps you are mistaken about who I am.
You are Veil's knight, yes? Veil is alive today because of your actions. She is my only sibling, and I cannot thank you enough for protecting her. Do you understand why I might want to reward you for such service?
I understand. However, knowing I have your gratitude is reward enough.
Only my gratitude?
I am pleased you value my efforts to aid the Lady Veil. I am not a good person. As your former enemy, I am unworthy of your praise. Pardon me. I am needed elsewhere.
Morvier, you don't...
So this is going to be a common trend with Morvier's supports, and I've seen a lot of people like this, both Morvier and Veil. Veil at least has the excuse of being mostly brainwashed, but even she feels really bad about what she did previously. If you take them to some of the earlier chapters, you'll see Morvier and Veil have some very interesting comments post-battle.
Morvier? Are you still on guard duty? It's so late. I'll take over so you can get some rest.
There is no need. The lateness of the hour is not of any concern.
Really? Wow. I've got to hand it to you.
Why is that?
You've been standing at attention for who knows how long. Don't you need a break?
Keeping guard is more important than resting.
Whoa! You can't say that! You've got to take a real break!
There is no need. Resting is a waste of time.
I am an automaton who does not need sleep.
Okay, you're starting to scare me. How do you shake off your fatigue?
Fatigue is no issue.
What? What are you, one of the corrupted or something?
Oh, that maybe.
Enough joking around. It's my shift, so I'll take over from here. For real.
No, thank you.
Oh, come on, man. I didn't want to do this, but I'll have to relieve you by force.
Oh no, Morvier is going to be dead now.
What is wrong?
I think I pulled a muscle.
It looks like you're the one who needs to rest.
Morvier, you should be thanking the Divine Dragon for that pulled muscle, otherwise you would be snapped in half like a twig right now.
Congratulations, big guy! Anniversaries like this don't come around every day. You should buy something to celebrate. It's a steal with my special anniversary discount.
The anniversary of what, exactly?
That was what I was gonna ask.
Aw, don't play coy with me. I think you know just what I'm talking about.
I do not. I have not the slightest idea.
But how could you not know? It's your anniversary.
That explains nothing.
Think hard. I bet it's on the tip of your tongue. Come on, you're getting close.
I have no idea what you are talking about.
No? Too bad. Guess you won't be getting my special anniversary price on this fruit after all.
Suppose it is the anniversary of an important event in my life. How would you know?
No need to get hung up on details like that.
The odds are in your favor that any given day is special for someone you're trying to sell to.
Tipped my hand there, did I? Oh well, let's just call this the anniversary of the time we talked, and I'll sell you the fruit. How does half price sound? Are you really gonna haggle with a poor little girl?
You are a bold salesperson of dubious morals. Still, I admit I am impressed. I shall buy the fruit.
Okay, this line's getting screenshotted.
Yes! Chalk up another sale for me. Thanks for your business.
That's like one of the rare supports where Anna is an outright con artist, and it's with Morvier of all people. I'll do that one later. So now, I'll do that one later. I guess this is the only one that is not in the do later pile.
Cito, I've heard you're really good at telling fortunes.
I am. Or I guess I should say, I was.
Oh, does that mean you're not good at it anymore?
Well, I guess I'd say I'm in a bit of a rut at the moment.
I didn't realize fortune tellers could get in a rut.
It would seem so. Sometimes you just don't feel it, and it shows in your readings.
Well, you did predict failure for Alear last time, and that actually was spot on.
I see. Well, I was thinking of asking you to tell my fortune.
Is something troubling you?
Sort of. I've been very tired lately. I was hoping there might be some special way to fix it.
I see. I'm afraid I can't be of much help right now.
But Amber's special elixir might.
Is there anything you can do to get your fortune-telling powers back?
I don't really know. I think I just have to wait for it to come back when it's ready.
Well, how about you tell my fortune anyway? I won't mind if you get it wrong.
What? But why?
Humor me. I'll just assume your reading is incorrect.
If that's what you want, let's begin. All is revealed. Go to the market and act like a cat. Good fortune shall be given you back.
Cito, I don't even want to know where you got this fortune reading book from.
Act like a cat? In the market? That's a little bit strange, isn't it?
Definitely strange. I told you I'm all out of sorts. Just pay it no mind. It won't come true.
If you say so.
And then Alear had to do some very awkward explaining at the marketplace the next day.
Lady Veil, I found you.
Oh, I didn't know you were looking for me.
Somehow you were in Seoul. Maybe that's the market you were going to.
I was indeed. Perhaps you don't realize, it is not safe for you to walk through town alone.
Not safe? Why do you say that? This town is full of good people.
Considering what we have done, some of these good people might rightfully want revenge.
If that happens, then I'll apologize. We did truly awful things.
An apology might well not be enough. If something were to happen to you...
I'm not a child. I can take care of myself. Now stop following me.
Wait, please!
No. I have something I need to do. On my own.
There she goes. She has no idea what she is risking.
wow, doing that support after the Sea-Doll one just makes it take on a totally different tone, because that's something she has to do on her own, is going to the market and acting like a cat.
Veil? Why are you looking at me like that?
Are you really okay?
I really am. I mean, it was strange. Taking corrupted form and waking up from that.
I was about to say I pity anybody who looks up Alear and Veil support with no context, having not played the game, but then I realized that would inherently spoil that Veil joins, so you kind of had it coming.
But I'm fine now. And it's all thanks to you, Veil.
I'm relieved. I also wanted to apologize for everything I've done. Everything I did in the past. So many people died. And it's because of me. I was too weak. It's my fault they're dead. I know I can't be forgiven. Not completely. But if you could, even just a little, I'm so sorry.
Oh, Veil, it wasn't your fault. The Fell Dragon was controlling you. He's to blame, not you. You say you're weak, but it was your strength that freed you from him. That's impressive.
Thank you. I'll get stronger too. Like I said before, I want to be a dragon like you. Ready to save the world. And I'll do everything in my power to make that happen. I just hope you'll help me?
Absolutely. That's what a big brother is for. I'll do anything I can to help you. It's the least I can do to make up for not being around. Don't worry. I'm right beside you, little sister. We can do this together.
Yes, we can.
I love seeing these two actually act like siblings. Of course, you know, obvious thing, rip anybody who shipped Alear and Veil from the pre-release. Yeah. In fact, on that note, just something that I want to clarify, when this game first came out, there was a rumor that despite them being blood siblings, Alear and Veil's S support was romantic in the Japanese version. No. Lies, 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 lies. That was a complete mistranslation. It was platonic even in the Japanese version. That image should get out of your head now.
It's Clan, Divine One. I'm coming in. Remember when you were worried about me? And you ordered me to take it easy? Thanks to you, I'm full of energy again. Did you hear what I was just... it was nothing. I was just saying... good morning.
Actually references their B support, that's cool. Oh, few Veils in the plaza now. So I can canonically get you in the Ally Notebook at this point, except I already have you in the Ally Notebook because I supported with you, okay. Well, I at least can... I'm gonna spam gifts on Veil before she goes back to the place. There isn't any difficulty in Riven Ride, but we've already done a lot in the Somniel, so let's head back to the world map and explain what we'll be doing next. Because a few things are going to open up. Three, to be exact. So our next destination is whoop. 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 I love how you just turn into a ship for a split second when moving between Granlon on the world map, but this is the next chapter of the main story, but we also have two paralogs. We have Marth's paralog, which is all the way here in the Broken Castle. Actually looks a lot like one of the dungeons in Tokyo Mirage Sessions, where Marth's power was also held. Maybe it's an intended reference. And we also have the Garden of Memories. This is Alear's paralog. Yep, since Alear's an emblem, they've got their own paralog now. And this one is actually interesting, but I think I'm going to save that one until right before the end of the game. So next time, I'm going to be doing some paralogs, but actually not Marth's yet. I think now I'm going to clear out Micaiah's, and then Celica's, the two mage girls. And then we'll be moving on in the main story to the lava fields. So, I'll see you all then.